So I would like to introduce you to Starry. This is a player that was brought up into me in my comments, and it's already going to be the most egregious one you've seen in a while because I've been doing a lot of research on certain vehicles. The top two vehicles are 8 to 1s. If that doesn't tell you right there on a relatively brand new account that that's the problem, then that's the problem. He also, it's according to this replay, he's not in a squadron, but he's in OVMK, which I don't know what nationality that's a part of, but if you know anybody in that squadron, he's in your squadron. So I got a couple of news things to bring up that I thought would be kind of interesting to mention. So I got a couple of pings about a certain... Now granted, this is all, at the moment, this is all kind of... I don't know if they're intentionally doing this or if it's, you know, complacency with squadrons or whatever. So I always have an issue with squadrons, you know, being overly, you know, being kind of, you know, oh, we're top 10 squadron, we need to be overpowered, we need to cheat, blah, blah, blah. So there was a video that got leaked from AVR, from their squadron. So if you know AVR, they're actually, I think, currently the #1 squadron in War Thunder. And there was a video leaked on their server, allegedly, that was a person, allegedly, in their squadron that was cheating. And he was showing off his cheats with, you know, showing off either, like, the boxes around the tank and showing off that he could delete all of the forestry. So, like, it was showing off on Normandy, on this map, and all of the trees were just gone across the map. He could toggle them on and off everywhere, which is insane. And then there was, of course, boxes and lead indicators on all of the maps as well. So if that is indeed an AVR person, now granted this account already got banned, but if that person participated in squadron battles, then technically all of those battles should be voided, and every person and all those battles should be given to the other competitor. Now granted, I don't know if that person actually participated because apparently they got banned like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and those replays are no longer existent. So I don't know if he actually did participate in a replay or not, or if he did. Who knows? I don't know. At the moment, I don't know because, like I said, replays only go back about 2-3 weeks. So based on comments that I've seen of this person, it was discovered about 2-3 weeks ago that they were doing this and that they showed off their replay and cheating, and that's what it was. That, to me, is a pretty big problem if you think about that, because that would mean, granted, we all know that there are squadrons that have cheaters in them, and I know what it is, granted, a lot of squadrons will vet their players, they will, you know, watch replays of them, they'll make sure they're not suspicious, they'll do like that. So the whole thing with, for instance, example David, and the whole incident with that was that their services, or the squadron, ultimately is responsible for getting rid of a player if they are ultimately suspicious and going to affect their ranking, and yet squadron leaders didn't do that. They just are super complacent in getting rid of players. That's the reason why I don't like the way THC handled the whole situation. Whether or not David was innocent or not, it's still the whole situation of, if you're a competitive squadron, like THC, like AVR, like Joint, like whoever all these squadrons are that are top 10, top 20, top 100, whatever, the ultimate responsibility is if you are knowing about the cheating problem, then you should get rid of the problem. The problem is the general worry with competitive squadrons, or, you know, esports, the way Gaijin puts it, even though this game is so far from esports, it's insane, is that if there's cheating, if there's active cheating going on, the services we have aren't good enough to determine the cheating going on. So, and if that's the case, then we'll realize that, you know, we need something better. I'm going to discuss in another video, the next video to do, because I'm pretty sure we might have something better coming up, but I need to do a little bit more research on that before I do that video. But in the general sense of where I'm coming with this is that this game is not esports, period. Even though Gaijin tries to promote esports, they try to promote all these Twitch drops and all these skins and whatever, this game is not esports. The main reason why it's not esports, the general easiest way to look at it, is that the servers are garbage. If we had generalized hosted servers, especially with tournaments, where they should be fully, you know, vetted hosted servers with higher tick rates, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure we're still stuck at like 30 or 40 tick rate, which is horrendous for like any sort of FPS or competitive shooter. If that's the case, then these games are not valid. They'll do esports just to promote the game and whatnot. I mean, that makes perfect sense to do that with an esports version. But if they're not doing it correctly, and they're not hosting the server as they should, then what is the actual point of having an esports? Besides just money, which is, Gaijin in a nutshell. So, I'm going to leave this here because that's generally all the gist I have on it. As far as I know with it, it's AVR essentially had a full-on cheater in their squadron for a #1 ranked squadron. I think AVR is also Russian, so take that as you will. Who knows? It's what it is it's complacency from squadrons that should be more responsible for their players. Period. And if they're going to allow just people cheating, then that's not really something we want to deal with. So, as always, I hope you have a good rest of your morning, day, evening, or night. If you have a person in question you want me to look at, leave it in the comments on the filtered format that I use on my pinned comment. And as always, have a good rest of your morning, evening, or night, like I said, and have a good one.